Hi, it's Melissa from the Hug Strap and the Dirty Hillers and the Margaret Hooligans. I am going to go over a few more finger picking patterns with you today. So the next one that's up in the series is the third pattern, which is the forward reverse roll. So it is exactly what it sounds like. Your fingers go forward first and then they trail their way back. So nice and simple. I'm going to bring my ukulele up so you can see it better. So we're going to start with our thumb plucking the G string, then the index hitting the C, then the middle hitting the E, then the ring hitting the A. Then I'm going to bring back that middle back to the E string and pluck it. Index finger to the C, thumb to the G. One more time. Let's show it to you again. Alright, so G plucks that, or thumb plucks the G string. Index finger gets the C string. Middle gets the E, ring finger gets the A. Then we're going to go down, middle finger gets that E again, index finger gets the A, and the thumb gets the G. So when you play it up at real time, it's so it has a very nice kind of choral lilt to it. So it's very angelic. So for that reason, I think it's the perfect song to learn how to play with it is Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. And I do have a PDF file of that available that I've written up a fingerstyle arrangement for. So you can get that by going to my website at www.thehugstrap.com under the ukulele tutorials section. Excuse me, easy for me to say. But I'm not going to stop right there. I want to get to the other patterns. There's going to be another play along video in another segment. So the next pattern I would like to show you is the fourth pattern, which is the reverse roll. So it's exactly what it sounds like. You're going to start at the bottom strings and go back up to the top. So you're going to start with that ring finger coming to the A string, then the middle finger coming to the E string, index finger C, G string with a thumb. So it's a little bit slower. Now, I didn't pick out a song that I thought this went well with, but I think it's a good one just to kind of reverse the way you do things. We tend to always do things like, in the ways that make us most comfortable. So, it makes sense to go down with your fingers, like thumb, middle, or thumb, index, middle, ring first. So it's just kind of a good exercise to go backwards and see how that kind of changes it, and it kind of creates like a little bit more of limberness in your fingers and a little more agility just so you can do kind of more fancy things later on. So I think it's a good exercise, definitely, and if you can find a song that sounds great, please let me know in the comments below because I didn't come up with one that I thought would be particularly good for it. Alright, so the last pattern is actually my favorite finger picking pattern. It's kind of one of my go-tos when I'm just messing around. I don't play a lot of songs in the finger picking style unless it really calls for it. Like I think Don't Think Twice is It's Alright by Bob Dylan is a great song to finger pick. But for the most part, I do it more just for limbering up my fingers and just kind of messing around just because it's fun. So this is one that I really like to do. So I'm going to introduce you to the squeeze, which means you're going to take your thumb and you're going to take your... We're going to do this. So we're going to squeeze the bottom and the top string. And I'm going to say let's do it with our... And you could do it with your middle finger, your index and your thumb. But the problem with that is that when we go to hit the next note, it's going to be a little bit harder because I'm going to go like this. Oops. So I think it makes more sense to do it with the thumb and the middle finger, so this guy's free to hit that next string. So it's... I messed it up that first time, so let's try again. Thumb and middle finger, squeeze. Then my index finger is going to hit the E string. Then my middle finger is going to hit the A string. Then my index finger is going to hit that E string again. So that's the pattern slowed down. Squeeze, index, middle, index. So when you speed it up, it's... Now, you'll notice that I did anchor my pinky when I did that, and the reason I did that, I've talked about before, about how that's not the best idea, because it makes it harder to use all four fingers. But for this one, I'm not using all four fingers, I'm just using the third one, and because I'm doing that little bit of a squeeze, it's kind of nice just to have a place to rest my pinky. So I am aware of it. It's not the best technique in the world, but I don't think it's a really big problem, as long as you can do both. Like if you can go back and forth by anchoring your pinky and then by lifting it up, I don't really see what the big deal is. If you're like a stickler for technique, then I would say try not to do it. But if you're a little more relaxed about it and realize that you can be flexible, then you can do both. All right, so that's the 5th pattern, and that's just like one I like to finger pick. So I would just recommend checking that one out and maybe just adding different chords, and you can decide how long you want to play it. Like you go play that C twice, then you can go to the F. And maybe only play the G once. So you can mess around with it and just see what kind of fun combinations you come up with. All right, so that's your quick rest of your finger picking pattern tutorials that are in my PDF. And you can find that at www.thehugstrap.com under ukulele tutorials. Again, I'm Melissa from the Hugstrap and the Dirty Hillers and the Margaret Hooligans. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. All right, thank you. Bye.